So let me take you back a few years. Me and the chaps were sitting outside of the local shop. It was a nice sunny day. We were just doing a thing, and two grown-ass males approach us. One of them says to one of the pals, I was in a group of maybe 5 or 6, and he says to him, "Are you this person of this name?" My friend responds, "Yes, I am that person of such name." And right that second, he hits him with the swiftest open palm slap. I was going to tell this story in the Queen's English, but I just feel like a dickhead talking in a voice that ain't mine. So, and it's a serious story, man. So, fuck it. I didn't want to share this one because I didn't want to be like on the net trying to make it my claim to fame. Yeah, but I'm going to tell you about the time that I got stabbed in the neck. So we're talking years ago. I'm a wee nipper, about yay big. I'm at the local shop with the squad, probably 5 or 6 people. We're all about 15, 14 at the time. And 2 grown-ass youths, local youths. I've realised from all these stories, whatever, you don't drop names and that, but people around our area where I live will know these people guaranteed, because they are like, you know what I mean, they're running it militantly. They're savage geezers, not scared to use weapons and violence and whatnot. But we don't know who it is anyway. We're just sat at the shop. We know who one of the geezers is. He's older than us. He's probably mid-20s, so 25, whatever, when we're about 13, 14. And he comes up to my pal and he says, "Are you so-and-so?" Just asking a question. And my mate sat down on the steps at the time, before the shot got knocked down at Lister Road. He's just like, "Yeah, that's me." And right then he hits him with the swiftest open palm slap you ever seen in your life. Creams him round the face. So my pal's like, "Whoa, well, we are now here. We're on for a little scrap." He stood up, boom, boom, boom. He's a big geezer. Threw a couple bombs. Took this youth down. Like, he's 14, 15 at the time, but he's 13 stone kid. Big meathead. And he's took him down. Started bombing him straight away. So the second geezer, I see my mate Jimbone. He's fucking having a little spar with him. And he ends up somehow getting him in a headlock. And like, they're up the wall going into the shop. So I'm looking at Dick, he's looking like he's got a shit handle. Jimbone's struggling a bit. I figure I'll go help Jim out, see what he's saying. So I get there. Just, like I said, the geezer's in a headlock. So all I can, his back's like facing me like this. And Jimmy's got him like this in a headlock up shot. So I come give him a couple faggoty digs in the side, and that weren't really doing shit. So then, like, because he was bent over, I thought I kneed him in the spine, in the back. So anyway, that geezer, because there was 2 of us dealing with him, maybe 3 of us, I don't know. He ends up hobbling off round the corner with the worst dead spine he's ever had in his life. Because, you know, like them savage knees, I just kneed him in the fucking vertebrae, like. And he's come waddling back round, because we go and deal with the other youth then. So it's all of us just bombing this one youth who's already on the floor, being took down by my big mate. And in between, my mate's punching him, and we come over, I flat foot the geezer on the face, like, in between punching him. So then obviously this youth that we've just dead backed and he's waddled off around the corner has come back round seeing a load of youths mullering his mate in. So he's got to take decisive action. By doing that, he whips out his little blade or whatever. At the time, we didn't know that he had one, like, because obviously shit's happening that fast, you're not really looking in people's hands what's going on, are you? But I realise now, like, what he said, he come up and he's like, "Who wants to get shanked?" And he's obviously probably thinking that... Camera just got rained on, I just had to wipe it down. He's obviously thinking, by saying that, any sane people would think, "Yeah, fuck this, I don't want to get stabbed, I'm fucking going the opposite way." But I didn't hear what he said, so I'll go up and I'm just trading a couple punches with him. And I've actually jabbed him, so while he's had the knife in his hand, I've got a nice jab on him, popped him on the nose and that. He's probably thinking, "What the fuck," like, he's stabbing and slashing, and we're just there throwing hands still. And I'm just throwing a couple punches, the geezer turns around and runs, both of them run off. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what's happened there? So I turned to Deke like, yo, like, big man, you're bleeding. Like, Meatball Deke, he'd got cut across the head, like slashed his ear in half. So, bro, you're bleeding. So what the fuck happened? I thought he'd, like, because the guys, it was two geezers, and they had a girlfriend. She got involved as well, like, because she jumped on Deke's back. So she had him in piggyback, like, well, he had her in piggyback, and she was on his face, like, scratching and clawing and all this and that. So I thought that he'd been, like, scratched by her. As I say to him, you're bleeding, you are, bro. He's like, you are as well. I'm like, what are you on about, man? Like, have a little check around and that. So I ain't bleeding. It's like, your neck, man, you're bleeding. So I just touch it. And I felt like a little tiny hole, man. It's like tiniest little 5p, just finger width in my neck. I'm like, what the fuck? What's it? Yeah. So I felt a little hole in my neck. And I'm just there like, well, it's not really hurting, it's not like a... Obviously I knew it weren't anything major from the start, because where I was touching it, it just didn't hurt, it weren't bleeding at all, like it had like a little bit coming out, but like if you actually pinch your neck there, it's like you've got nerves or whatever, it's like your elbow, and it's like that sort of skin where you can pinch it and you don't really feel any pain off it. So I think I'm lucky that he got me in a place where you don't really have like that sensitive nerves or whatever, do you know what I mean? It's that stretchy skin sort of type deal. So I never actually did have any pain off it. I mean, I had to go to hospital, the ambulance got called to the scene and that. Because after I got stabbed, we walk up round the corner to one of my mates' houses and that, so sit in his living room, just wait for the ambulance, start putting pressure on it and that. Because, well, obviously I knew it weren't nothing bad, you know what I mean? They roll up, police, ambulance, everything on the scene, all that. So I go and get 3.5 stitches. I think it needed 4 stitches, yeah. But the doctor is saying, when it's like, if it had been, you see how it ends there? That's where the cut ends. If it had been half an inch over to the left, so if I'd have been stood this way a little bit more, do you know what I mean, or moved or whatever, then it would have got the jugular. And survival rates for that kind of shit ain't the best, do you know what I mean? So where I did have a minor little injury that weren't no big deal, it could have very much turned into, I don't know, you know what I mean, a major operation to save my life, or I could have been bleeding out on Lister Road shop floor, man. See, and I'm up in the country, you see, where it's chilled, bro. So we don't have violence or any crime like that round here, man. It's so chill. I was just a one-off, do you know what I mean? It's happened a couple of times. There's never been, well, I've been an adult, there's never been an actual murder in Atherstone town. We've had some violence down in Manchester, like a guy got killed down there. Greg Kelly died 2 years ago down there through like someone murdered him and whatnot. But other than that, it's a fucking proper chill place to live. You don't get any drama. Everyone knows everyone, so if you want to go around being a prick to each other, you're going to probably have to see each other the next day. And obviously, because everyone knows that no one else carries knives, no one else needs to. They ain't the fear. We're getting to the end point in the video, and this joints, but dude. So that's it. That's like the only juicy story that I've ever had. Probably my only near-death experience. And you know what I mean, it's I'm not here flaunting the fact that I got stabbed in the neck trying to make it look like some gangster shit, because I've come from the softest town ever. But that's what I'm saying, little things like this still happen, yeah, and you gotta be aware, man. Don't think that just because you live in a village that kid ain't gonna stab you or whatever. I don't even know why that youth had a knife, because it's he was probably 14, 15 stone, he's a burly geezer, man. He should have slapped us kids about a piece of piss, but just because he had it on him, he used it, and it's like he could be sat still doing a sentence for a manslaughter that he got for me or whatever. And I don't think I'm fugging, nah, but I did take one in the jugular, you know what I mean? That's my little story. I survived the knife crime. So you got to talk about it, man. You got to tell them youths don't carry knives, don't be scared. Obviously in the cities it's different, man. It's violent down there, and that. You got to stay protected, and I understand it, but I just can't understand people that live in my situation, chilled suburban areas, and yet they want to live that gangster lifestyle because it looks appealing and that through all the music videos or whatnot, yeah. But I'm telling you, that ain't no life, man. You want to fucking live good, do good to people, good for people, for your family. There's only so far you can get being a criminal, man. It's like, how many people do you know that have either been major criminals in the past and gone on to do better things with their life, or fucking that's quite common. You get a lot of people turning it around, yeah, but you don't really get people. How many millionaire drug dealers do you know? Obviously there is them out there, but they've got to stay sneaky and clever, and you can't really enjoy your money anyway. Say you earn $1 million and it's illegal,